السلام عليكم. لا تنسوا الاعجاب بالفيديو والاشتراك في القناة تشجيعا لنا لنستمر بنشر المزيد إن شاء الله.
God is the Son? No, he didn't. Did he say the only true God is the Father? Yes. So the Father is the only true God. That means the one that I have already discounted are not the only true God. Do you agree?
Now, simple.
Do you agree?
To you, I agree with everything Jesus Christ said. He prayed to the Father, the only true God. But then he goes on to say, I and the Father are one. But then he goes on to say, honor me as you honor the Father.
Do you honor Jesus like that?
Exactly.
How?
I fall down and pray to him. I say, my Lord, have mercy on me.
And who did he pray to?
Sorry?
Who did he pray to?
He prayed to his Father.
Okay, so logically, what makes sense?
If you say logic, nothing is going to make sense to you because these words are spiritual.
Fine. According to
not logic.
Spiritual sense, in your spiritual sense, understanding, you see someone praying to God, and a gentleman comes along and he prays to that person who prays to God.
Now,
does that make spiritual sense to you?
That's what I'm saying to you. Spiritually, you will not understand it. Logically,
do you understand it
make
spiritually?
Sense. Yes.
Right. So let me ask you again.
Any believer of Jesus Christ, spiritual, anyone who is born again, will understand that. But if you are not born of the Spirit, because the Spirit makes you understand the things of the Spirit, and the words that Jesus spoke are Spirit, you as a Muslim, you can never ever understand them unless the Lord sends His Spirit to you to be able to make you understand what the Spirit is saying.
Fine.
But you will never.
Fine. I have no problem with that, okay? But I can at least test whether you understand it or not. Because you have the Spirit. Do you?
I've got the Spirit.
Good.
Even when I explain to you, you will not understand because you don't have the Spirit on you.
But at least you will understand, right?
Sorry?
At least you would understand.
No, you will not understand.
No, would you understand?
My answer to you.
But would you understand my question?
Because you're coming in a logical point of view.
Fine. But would you understand my question?
When it comes to logic, I will ask you a simple question. When it comes to logic.
Would you understand my question though?
Did I understand your question?
No, would you understand my question if I ask you?
I would understand it, of course.
Very good. Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
If Christ got married and had children, would the children be God and sinless?
You said if Christ married, it is impossible for him.
Was he a man?
He is a man who did not have lust like me.
No. Was he a man?
A sinless man.
Was he a man?
Yes.
As a man, he could have married. That's what men do, right?
No, it's not what men do. No, there's people who are born to be single, and they want to be single for the rest of their lives.
Born to be single.
There's some women who want to be single for the rest of their life. They want nothing to do with the man.
No, that's their choice.
There's some men who love to play football.
Don't say.
Exactly.
Right.
Yes.
What if he chose to get married?
No, he can never. That is your mind, not his mind.
Excuse me?
I don't know what you like. You don't know what I like.
No, when you say
how do you know? What if Christ chose to have a woman?
So as a human being, you're saying he has totally restricted him from choosing.
He decided not to engage in fleshly lust.
Did he eat?
He ate, yes.
Why did he not stop eating? Why did he not decide eating? Why did he not decide not to sleep or to have quenched his thirst?
Now, okay, listen.
Why not?
Now, the questions you're asking me, are meant to go to Jesus Christ. If you get down on your knees, and you know he's in heaven, ask him, Jesus Christ, please reveal to me why you did not have a wife.
Okay, let's do that.
You did not. You get what I mean?
Let's do that.
And if he hears you according to his will, he will answer you.
Okay, let's do that.
The questions you're asking me, I cannot answer on behalf of Jesus
Let's
Christ.
do that. But
unless it is written, then I can.
But here's the problem. If I know Christ himself got down on his knees, his foot on the ground, it is spiritually making no sense to me, not logically, spiritually, to actually bow down to him. Because that individual himself is dependent on someone to help him. Listen, someone who is dependent on someone else, you're asking me spiritually to say, oh, you know what, it's like this. I want to get some money from you, right? Because that's what I need. I want to buy a house or whatever. I want money. And I realize, when I'm asking you, can you give me 100,000 pounds? And what you do is, you're going there to all your friends, you're going to the banker, lend me some money, give me some money. Then you'll be really crazy of me to think like, you haven't got any money. So what are you going to give me? You have nothing to give. So you are not even worthy even to ask for help. Why? Because you don't possess that money. So wait, let me finish. Let me finish.
You're speaking too much.
No, I'm not speaking too much.
Said,
so I cannot.
I am the truth, the way, and the life.
Was it the destination?
Yeah. No, he's saying his life.
Was it the destination?
Was he the destination? Yes. He said,
no, listen.
I am the door. I am the door. No man comes to the Father except through me.
I asked you a specific question.
Yes.
He says, I am the way.
Yes. The truth and the life.
Can you see this way?
Yes.
When you say I am the way, you are not the destination. You are the way to a destination.
Okay.
Who is the destination?
The destination is the Father.
So
and
he is
Christ
not God.
Christ
Thank you again.
Why
does that mean he's not God?
Christ is at the door.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you know what? If you want to go to the king, you have to give me £10 for access for making an appointment. Does that make you the king?
No, but we didn't say that.
I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to this gentleman.
Hold on.
Does it make you the king?
Hold on. You say, if I want to see the king.
Nice talking to you. Let's talk to Luca. Okay.
Right, okay, you're the one made the assertion.
No, let's just start again from the very beginning.
Okay, go on.
Can this creation be independent from anyone? This creation.
As in this current creation.
This creation.
To be independent.
This creation is already separated from the creator.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Can this creation be independent?
No.
No, it cannot.
It
can't. It can't.
In Islam it is.
It cannot.
Because it is.
I'm not talking to you, my friend. I want to speak to someone.
Hold on.
Someone who might.
Yeah. It is independent.
Rather than spiritual sense, he might use some logical sense, right?
It is independent.
Thank you very much, my friend. Thank you. We'll talk again. Now, Luca, how do you know this creation needs and is dependent on something for its own existence?
I say there are a variety of ways, but the first way I go to is just the fact that it's finite. So the fact that the universe and everything in it is finite shows that...
How do you know it's finite?
Well, again, that would be the evidence of all cosmology behind it.
Give me an example of an evidence that's finite.
Okay, for example, redshifting, showing the expansion of the universe. We know that you can't have an eternally expanding universe, otherwise you wouldn't see the redshift that we currently see to the extent.
Okay, so it's expanding. It was less expanding.
Right, but as
fine.
Right.
Good. Point taken.
Right, so the current evidence is
finite.
The universe is finite.
Finite. Good.
Right. That is one key. You can't be independent, fully independent, if you are finite.
Why?
Because for your very existence to come into existence, it required a prior cause to then make you come into existence.
So, if your existence is dependent on someone else, that makes you finite.
No. I didn't say
Explain
that.
again.
Okay, so because this is the thing, if for your temporal existence to come in, if you are not existing at one point and then come into existence,
doesn't matter. Time doesn't come in.
Okay, but
if you are caused,
if you come, it's not causation. It's if you come into existence.
Is the universe caused by the creator?
Yes.
Right. So it's causation.
There are different types of causation.
So no. It is caused. I am not interested in temporal, which is time bound, or atemporal, which is not time bound.
But it is very
the fact is, it is caused. Causation can be temporal within a time, or it could be atemporal with no time limits.
Yeah.
The fact is, it's caused, meaning this thing, this universe, is already dependent for its own existence on a cause.
Sure. But
Right.
Issue that
So
it comes in.
being caused. Can you call this universe the maximally perfect being?
No.
Why not?
Because it doesn't possess all the attributes necessary and sufficient for maximal.
So it doesn't possess. If something is caused by another cause, can it be maximally perfect being in any way, shape or form?
Yes.
How?
Because it can be omnipotent, omniscient,
Show me how.
benevolent, and maximally
Show me how.
perfect. Okay, so the example, obviously, we're giving analogous examples, but really we're talking about the Son, God the Son.
No, I'm not talking about
Okay,
the sun.
okay,
I'm talking about anything.
Mansour,
Anything. I'm not talking about your Trinitarian or Quadritarian belief.
This is what we know we're
No,
talking about.
we are talking about how can you have a caused creation? Anything that's caused, is created.
No, that's not true. Again, you just showed your...
Hang on. What is creation?
No, I'm answering your question.
I'm asking you the question now.
No.
What is creation?
You made an assertion, and I'm showing your assertion is false.
Okay.
You said anything that is caused comes into existence or is finite. So that's just
No, I'm saying creation.
Okay, I know. But
Anything that is caused, tell me why it's not a creation.
Okay, I'm saying, right, okay, there are two types of causation, okay? There is a normal type of causation, which is called nomological causation.
Who defines that?
Okay, can I finish? And there is another type of causation, which is called metaphysical causation. Non-logical causation is the usual type that we're used to, right? So I push a ball, I have caused it to move. That occurs within time, I have to precede it, and then it comes, and I brought about a new state of affairs.
Temporal.
Yeah, it's temporal.
I've explained that already to you.
Physical causation doesn't require time.
I have explained that already to you.
Simultaneous causation.
So are you repeating something I already explained?
So this is why it shows you don't need causation to infer creation, because the causation and effect can exist at the same time. Therefore, it doesn't have to come into existence, so it's not created. So the sun,
what is creation?
The sun has always existed.
What is creation?
By the Father.
What is creation?
What is creation?
Yeah.
It's the sum totality of what God has brought into existence.
When God brings something to existence, does He cause it to bring in existence?
Yeah, sure. That's one type of causation.
So when He calls it, when He calls it,
yeah.
What's the difference between when you say creation, right? Creation.
Yeah.
Can creation be atemporal?
Not in principle, no.
Why not?
Because, well, as in, it kind of just depends how you want to define creation. Well, it does.
Why not? Creation is other than, and for example, anything that is caused prior to being caused, prior in the atemporal sense.
You can't have, okay, well then it's redundant to say prior. It's redundant to say prior.
Does it make sense then to you to say a creation can precede the creator?
Not really, no.
Why is it time bound?
Well, no. Why is what time bound?
Why is creation concept time bound?
Okay, because it doesn't eternally exist. That's part of what we understand creation to be.
Are you saying God could not make an eternal creation atemporally?
Well, okay, there's different types of eternality.
I'm asking you a very simple question.
And I need to explain there are nuances to it. You can't paint with large brushstrokes, okay? God could make a universe that starts at time zero.
I'm not bringing time in.
I'm answering your question. And continues on eternally, okay? That's one option. What God cannot do, because it is a logical contradiction, would be for God to create a universe which has eternally existed.
What does create mean here?
Bring into existence. That's why it's a nonsensical.
No, when you say bring into existence, that means it didn't exist prior.
Yeah, bring into existence.
Right. So when God is causing someone atemporally, is He bringing into existence?
Not necessarily, no. Causation is different.
So wait. So when God causes something atemporally, what is He doing?
It's not metaphysical causation.
What is He doing by doing this cause? He is being a cause of something in an atemporal sense. What is it happening? What's God doing?
I literally don't know how to explain that to you.
No.
It is what it says on the tin.
That's what
something else.
You said God causes atemporally. What is God doing? Sorry?
He can cause atemporally.
What is He doing?
Causing.
No. What does it mean, cause? Explain.
Okay, can I explain to you why I can't answer your question? Because you're asking me, what does it mean for God in infinity and eternity to be causing something in eternity?
What does cause mean to you, causing something?
What does causation mean?
What does causation mean? Precisely.
Okay, there are two types of causation.
You've explained that already. Metaphysical causation.
So I've explained to you.
We've gone through that already. Okay. Do not repeat again. Okay. It's no point.
So the nomological causation that we have here requires...
Ignore that.
Okay, I'm making a clear distinction so you understand what this other one is, okay? This one requires a prior cause to the effect. This one is the same principle of causation, but it doesn't require the cause to be prior to the effect, and they can coexist eternally. That's how it works. You're now asking me, okay, how do the intricacies of that causation play out?
I'm asking you, what do you mean by causation?
That's beyond my comprehension. I don't exist in eternity.
You're using a word that you didn't even know what it means.
Because, okay, wait, how can I give you a practical explanation?
No, you're using a word that you have no idea what it means. Don't use it.
I did explain what it meant.
No, you only said there are two types of causation.
Yeah,
but my central question to you is, what do you mean by causation? Okay. Not the branches and the different types of causation.
Okay, I mean that the one which causes
No, what do you mean by causes?
Can I finish the sentence?
The word cause is in dispute at this minute.
Okay, Mansour, if I say to you that the one who causes is metaphysically prior, does that mean anything? Exactly.
If I no, I'm not saying that. Sorry, when I say no, I'm not answering your question. I'm asking you this. When you use the word cause, I'm simply asking you define the word cause and causation.
Okay, and I'm giving you an explanation of it.
Now I'm asking you to define it.
Okay, right, shall I literally get you the definition of causation?
Up to you. Define it.
Sure. But it won't get you, okay, the problem is that...
No, I need an answer to what do you mean by causation.
Mansour, the problem is that you're asking what does causation mean. You're not asking for a dictionary definition. You're asking...
Did I ask you to bring a dictionary?
Wait.
I asked you a simple question.
Okay, you're asking for the machinations of how that plays out and works, right? And I'm saying even if I give you a dictionary definition...
Now I want to know what causation means.
Right, even if I give you a dictionary definition...
Which you would have to agree with it, right?
It won't
Give me a definition that you agree.
Actually, I don't have it.
Right. So tell me now, what do you mean by causation?
Okay, and I've explained to you what I meant by causation.
No, you haven't explained it.
I'll explain again.
No, you haven't explained. You've only given me there's two types of causation, time-bound and not time-bound.
Right.
I'm asking you, what do you mean by causation?
Okay. And I mean that the one who causes is...
What do you mean one by causes? The word causes is what is...
Cause, the cause. Okay.
No. When you say one causes, what does it mean by cause? When something causes something else, when someone causes, what is this causation? What does it mean?
Okay. For a certain state of affairs that obtains for the effect, okay, or the object to whom the effect applies, the cause is that which ontologically and metaphysically applies
that object
to it.
That object didn't exist before the causation.
Yeah. Well, no. Sorry. In this case...
Try again.
No.
The object that God applies the cause...
No. It's not before or after. It's simultaneous causation and effect.
What does it mean by cause again?
Say again?
But you're not answering the cause again.
I did
I'm
answer.
trying to understand what you mean by cause.
Yeah.
So you have an object, right? You have an object.
Yeah.
Either the object was always there, or it wasn't.
Yeah, sure.
Right. So when God applies the cause, what does it mean he applies the cause?
God eternally applies the cause.
Did I say eternally or temporarily?
No, but this is why it makes a difference.
No, I'm telling you, I'm being charitable to you. I'm saying either in a temporal or atemporal sense.
Okay.
You have difficulty in the temporal sense, leave that aside. In the atemporal sense, in a metaphysical sense, what do you mean by God applies his cause to an object?
Okay. I mean that God is the grounding for the existence of that other object.
What do you mean by grounding?
God is the first principle.
What do you mean by grounding? Every word that you use, I haven't got a clue what it means.
Okay, wait, can I explain something? Okay. The first are the temporal causation, right? I can explain that to you.
You are again going back to something that we said, don't bring it in.
No, but listen.
Because you are creating some problems for your own self.
I'm not.
Okay, let's make it simple. So now, we're going to write this down. So, we want to know what the word causation means. Causation, right? You said grounding. 1 second.
Metaphysical
One second.
Yes.
Do you know what grounding means? Grounding, do you know what it means? Do you? Raise your hands who knows what grounding means when it means causation. Raise your hands. There are about 20 people there, 15, 20 people. No one raised their hands. Wait. So no one have understood what you mean by grounding.
Okay.
So explain again what you mean by causation.
Okay. And you need to let me finish my sentence. Okay?
Go ahead.
Okay, so this is my point. And I'm answering your question. I'm not sidetracking, even though I'm talking about temporal initially, okay? The reason why I can explain to you temporal causation very easily is because I can give you examples that substantiate all my points of that causation. I can't give you any other examples of atemporal causation.
I didn't ask for example.
Wait. Other than the one I immediately have to mind to help you understand it, right? When I then give you the explanation of it, I then use specific terms like grounding and priority and so on, and you don't understand that. Now, I admit I'm probably not the best at explaining this, but that doesn't mean that my point is redundant. I need to perhaps work on explaining it more simply, but I don't have any other substitute terms at my fingertips I can say other than grounding, priority, and like hierarchical structure of reality. God the Father, because this is what we're ultimately talking about, God the Father is more hierarchical priority, he's in a space of priority compared to the Son. He's the metaphysical grounding for the Son. But the reason that's not a problem is because the cause of the Father and the effect of the Son are simultaneous eternally. So there is no time at which God the Son does not exist and where God the Father does not exist. And they're reciprocally dependent. So there's no issue with that, okay? That's my conundrum explanation. Leave back to you.
Right. So you did exactly precisely what I was thinking you're going to do. I asked you for a definition, not an explanation. So now try again. what do you mean by causation? Define your term. Don't explain, don't give me an analogy, define your term. Because in logic, in philosophy, we define our terms. So you defined earlier by grounding, none of us understood what it means. Well, ignore me. None of the audience understood what grounding meant. So try again with another word. In the English language, what do you mean by causation?
Okay.
And that means causation by God to an object.
Okay, so I've listened to your question, okay? When you define something, often that involves giving in substitute, basically, terms that mean the same thing. I've given you the terms of priority, grounding, and so on, which explain these terms.
Priority, okay.
You
Priority.
might not understand
Hang on.
Wait.
Don't say it.
Let me finish the bit.
Okay.
You might not understand what metaphysical grounding is, okay, because we don't practically have examples of that.
إن أعجبك الفيديو لا تنسى الإعجاب والاشتراك في القناة.